I don't know if I'm in my
We're
right or
already
left
in
mind.
session. Let's stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Born and unborn. Brown shoes and black
I guess
shoes.
they both just feel the same.
You know,
Same height, or you?
and I'm thinking they have different size heels on them,
Okay.
so this is really
Minutes and
weird.
reports received and filed. We're going to keep
None.
moving ahead. None. Commissioner Committee Liaison Reports, upcoming meetings and events.
All right. We do have a administrative meeting today for the directors, 11:30. And another meeting at 2 today. I don't have a whole lot. We got leadership Friday
Mm-hmm.
and administrative assistance day Friday. All right. I think that's about it.
I got Cap Region Building Committee tomorrow. Saturday is the Cultural Arts Foundation's Arts and Bubbles. That's all I got.
Oh, Wardsville rummage sales too this week. Be careful driving out
Are
there.
are you participating?
No.
Oh.
It's just, I'm telling you, watch the traffic out there. It'd be a little crazy, so.
Do we have any unfinished
And-
business? Nope. Okay. Accounts payable review.
I'd ask for approval of accounts payable pending review.
So moved.
Did I have one in there? Okay.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay, Mike Sapp to present abatement hearing number 201-803-001, Donald C. Morgan, 9003 Osage Front Street.
This property is just across the tracks in Osage City area. It's approximately a half a city block. There's 2 dismantled mobile homes. The house you see here has been burnt down. The new owner, the son of the previous owner, who is deceased, has cleaned the house up. There are tires. He is in the process of dismantling the trailers, but there's a lot of other solid waste issues and things on the property. We originally received the complaint on 3/5 through the commission. That time there was a burned vehicle out on the street. The sheriff's office had to move it into the yard. And I apologize, I wrote Randy Morgan. It's Michael Morgan is the son. He is now the property owner. It's TOD. I advised him of the violations present, which is solid waste, the rat harborages from the open and partially demolished trailers, the stagnant and offensive water from the tires, and then there's several unlicensed vehicles, which he has gotten rid of about half of those. On 3/24, I was trying to work with him. Went out there was little to no progress made on the property other than the burned house had been cleaned up. So I scheduled the hearing for the end of this month, which is today, and had very little contact with Mr. Morgan until the 18th, in which he called asking for more time. He has made some progress out there. We still have some issues. As I said, some of the unlicensed vehicles have been removed. Some of the litter and other solid waste has been removed. There's no longer any insulation blowing around from the trailers, but the tires remain, and he has made an attempt to secure the dismantled mobile homes by putting interior paneling over some of the exterior openings of the mobile homes. These are the conditions that are currently out on the property as of last Friday. You can see there's quite a large number of tires and debris on the property. And these are about half of what was there whenever I first started the case. A couple of the unlicensed vehicles. So the county's health department's recommendation does allow the property owner some additional time. I spoke to Mr. Morgan this morning. He was requesting 60 days. I would recommend 30 days at a time with continuous progress made each week. And if at the end of the 30 days, the continuous progress has not been maintained, then proceed with abatement procedures for county abatement of the property. And Mr. Morgan is here this morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Would that work for you if we give you basically you have 60 days, but you're gonna have to continue to make
Oh, yeah, definitely.
improvements
Definitely.
and.
Going home, I took a day off today, I have to take care of this, I'm going, move some more vehicles and stuff, get rid of them, my dad died, I inherited the property, I'm just trying to, trying to get it all cleaned up now.
Okay.
Okay. Mike will come back in 30 days and we'll look and see how much progress you made, and if you're doing, if a lot's changed, then we'll do another 30 days.
Sound good?
Okay.
Thank you.
We
Thank
need-
you.
Thank you.
So.
I move that we grant a 30-day extension to the abatement.
I'm gonna second. Do we wanna do, well, I was trying to figure out, do we just wanna do 60 so we don't have to come back up here as long as progress is being made? I don't wanna make him have to take another day off. We don't have to go through those spiel again as long as progress is being made. Or if you're fine with granting another 30 days after that, we can just, formally do an additional 30 days at that point.
Well, I think it's just a motion here, so it's pretty simple.
Okay.
If we do that in 30 days, and that way Mike can check it out. You don't need to come back if he's making progress. You can shoot us an email.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so, motion and second's been made, Sam.
All in favor?
Aye.
I just interrupted it.
This, okay.
Some just ain't right today.
Hit him with the gong thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That,
That was discussion of bids received for 2018-14, but we're basically abatement of the Russellville property, removal of solid waste.
This is the cardboard site out in Russellville. I did not do a full presentation. I just wanted to give the commission an idea of the condition of the property out there. There has been some progress made. I'd say about a third of the cardboard total has been either burnt or removed from the property, but there is quite a bit of it still left. Again, this is looking back towards the school. You can just barely see the school in the background.
This is just to indemnify us for the stuff that's in the Union Pacific Agreement.
He has made some progress up around the house. From where we originally took the bids. One of the problems that we've heard from the contractors is they've come out and bid it and they feel like they're wasting their time. On this property and some of the others. I've got no problem with recommending he has made some progress, but until we decide to abate it, which we're kind of under a deadline to use the bids we have now, would expire May 10th. But we're gonna have to renegotiate because conditions out there have changed, and we were planning on going back to the two lowest bidders to renegotiate those bids.
Okay, I see that Aaron, the attorney, is here as well. Morning.
Morning.
Good morning, I'm here on behalf of Mr. Jackson. He was unable to make it this morning, I apologize, he's been having some anxiety attacks about appearing in front of you gentlemen, so I apologize. He has made some progress on the property. One of the things I think that has slowed the property a little bit is that school's been in session and that he's been trying to be considerate. For instance, this past weekend there was a track meet, and so he didn't want to be burning during the track meet, I think because of the way the wind was blowing as well. So I think if we were to have another extension, he would be able to burn significantly more. His father is also being discharged from the nursing home, and so that creates a few more difficulties for him. But if you would be so kind as to grant him another extension, I think he could make some additional progress on the property, and hopefully we can get it where it needs to be.
Have you guys had contact with Mr. Jackson at all?
I have not
Nobody?
spoke to him at
Okay.
all, other than speaking with Aaron.
In general, I don't have a problem with extending this. I don't know, it would be nice if we could communicate with him. I mean, obviously, he may have anxiety coming up here, but, I mean, I think a simple phone call to Mike would go a long ways in just kind of letting us know what's going on. And maybe we wouldn't get this far, but, so, I mean, we've gone through this whole process, and yet we've not talked to him at all. So,
And Mike's really a pretty nice guy.
At times.
He's not, I mean, you know, he won't yell at him too much.
I'll try to facilitate that. Maybe I can initiate that phone call and do something from my own cell phone, so that way we can just all be on the phone together and you can have some of that direct communication with Mr. Jackson.
Might see if you'll talk to Leland up at Solid Waste Management District. I did call him and left a message and said that you all may still be calling.
What we're gonna do with Mr. Rehard is we're gonna go ahead and request a grant. I had talked to Mr. Rehard about potential
Great.
grants that they have, and so we're gonna request a grant to help, just to pay some people to clean up the property a little bit, maybe some laborers, or maybe do some things with Allied Waste.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the extension if he's wanting to try to do it, and if he can talk to Mike, that'd be great. I mean, he's got representation up here, so.
Are you asking for any particular extension or?
Well, sir, I would always ask for like 6 months or something.
I don't mind doing it the same way we were doing it, the one down in Osage City. If we, you see some kind of progress, and, I know 30 days, there's a lot of stuff up there, so he's not gonna be able to get it all done in 30 days, but if you see some action being taken, and we can just keep kind of renewing it, per se.
so it's the end of April, 30 days gives him to the end of May.
School
And then-
gets out, what,
yeah.
middle,
Right, middle to end of May.
so maybe even go 60 days
Right.
to
Yeah,
start
60.
with. There's a lot up there.
Right.
But I mean, the stuff on the outside, I think is what we're most concerned about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we won't give you the 6 months or whatever, but I'd like to do it 60 days at a time, so.
A little bigger project.
Right.
I'm fine with that.
So, as long as progress is being made, same way, Mike, we can just report to us back, so. Move that we grant the 60-day extension to the abatement of the Russellville property.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Commissioners.
Thanks, Aaron. Have a good day.
You too.
Hey, if you need help with the solid waste district, let me know.
That's gonna close.
Thank you, sir, I
So,
appreciate it.
I know
bids, we're gonna
Leland's
have to
up in
start from
Columbia and I'm
scratch.
down here, so maybe we can
Yeah.
work
Right.
together on
That's
it.
fine.
Yeah.
So,
that's-
perfect, thanks, Aaron.
I'm not sure that anybody would have held those prices anyway.
No.
No, I knew we were gonna, both sides were gonna change, so.
Okay.
Okay. Signing of Central State Water Resource Agreement.
Okay, was in contact with Todd Thomas from Central States Water Resources back in March. And then Central States and had emailed Larry, and then they've been in contact with Jill on the signing of the agreement to proceed forward with the Eugene Water.
I've been talking with their attorney, and this is a law firm that does these types of transactions, so they know what they're doing. At any rate, Debbie signed over. We never did have any paperwork when the county took over Eugene Water from the trustees of Eugene. So I had Debbie execute 2 deeds that basically were copies of the deeds the landowners signed over to Eugene. So these properties are officially the county's now. We probably should have done it back then, but it was such a, nobody knew what we were doing. At any rate, go ahead and sign that. There's some information on the exhibits that still needs to be acquired. Larry's been inventorying and getting that material together, and she told me this is the kind of thing that develops afterwards. We just keep, we'll fill that in as we start looking into all of this. They're going to contact Cole County Abstract and have them start doing the work. Also, the Public Service Commission is gonna have to sign off, and they'll be handling that.
So this is basically the agreement, and
Right.
they will start overseeing this at, what, do we have a date on that? I mean,
I guess they'll start the process of the paperwork and all that.
Well, yeah, we're getting the ball rolling on all the paperwork, getting together all the inventory. There's gotta be a service area description.
okay,
And I'll be working with Public Works and their attorney. It's gonna be working with Cole County Abstract and whatever, just to pull all of this together. And we have all, Debbie gave me, well, I guess, Larry, you all had all that paperwork out there, but
Right.
I've got a binder that's probably 6 inches thick, stuff in there. And as it turns out, they originally put that in the early 60s. So, anyway,
okay. So we don't really have all that set out yet, I mean.
right, and she said,
Depends on the paperwork and stuff.
Right, you signed the agreement, she said the rest of it's a work in progress.
Okay.
So.
And have they seen this, Central State's seen this agreement, and they're
they
okay
sent
with
it
it?
to me.
Okay. Then you're good with it?
I'm good with it.
Well, I just noticed that they hadn't signed it yet, so
Right, I told her we'd sign it,
Okay.
and then I'll,
I just didn't want to sign it and then let them make changes and then they sign it.
no, they can't do that.
Well, they can.
No, they can't, not legally.
Once
If they make a
execute
change,
it.
they'd have to initial it.
Right, we'd have
And
to
then we'd have to
do it.
initial it, and then we'd have to send it back.
Right.
So,
I mean, once you execute it, it's an offer.
but any
No,
changes would
they
have to
made
be
the offer
reinitialed though.
by sending us that. By us signing it, we're accepting the offer. So the terms,
And my understanding, that by you signing this, is you're saying you're willing to negotiate this process.
Okay.
Were they gonna try to talk us down from $1? All right. Tell
So
them,
when will we actually physically transfer assets to?
is there a closing date on that or?
That we don't
what's-
know.
That we don't know yet.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
That's
so,
still-
This basically is giving us the
This is- I think
permission
it's
to
supposed to
get
be
into
about-
negotiations with each other and to move on.
yeah, so sign this agreement, paperwork has to follow, then they will take over the system for a period of 6 months or so and actually operate the system. Is that right, Larry?
I think so, yes.
And then they'll kind of operate it for a while, and then after all the stuff with the PSC and stuff goes through.
But
then
they have to
then-
go through DNR and
Right.
PSC and all that stuff.
Right, but they will be operating it, it'll be out of our control.
But I don't think they can get that paperwork on with those guys until you guys agree to
Sure.
sign.
Right.
So once we sign this, they're gonna take over operations?
Not right away, I mean, it will, they will eventually take it over.
We'll have
before
another
everything is
agreement.
actually finally signed, but it'll be for a short period.
Well, before we close.
Before we close.
I mean, this is all we have to sign.
Well, will Debbie lose her job as trustee?
I lost that a long time ago.
No, you still had,
Still
Well,
have signing authority.
you still had sign.
well, that's
You're
true, that's true.
trustee, yeah. it's
Give it
yours.
back to Debbie.
97, it's been long enough.
It's yours.
Yeah, I thought you got rid of
I
that.
Give me-
brought 3
We
pins
took
if
you
you
off
need
that.
some pins.
We took her off of that a while back. I guess, so when they come into, they get all the ducks in a row, they're gonna take over operations, but we still retain ownership?
Until everything is finalized, because they have to get approval.
Eventually, they'll be the owners, Jeff.
Right, but why are we even gonna have them running it until they actually own it?
Because there's that process with DNR and the PSC that takes
Yeah,
a
they have to
longer
get
time.
approval through DNR first and PSC.
But I'm not gonna let somebody drive my car around for 6 months till they get the paperwork done, if I still own it. That just seems kinda weird to me.
It's
You
just-
want to do this?
Yeah, there you go, Larry.
So if they do something wrong operationally, who's liable? So if you're buying my house and I say you can move in early, if something happens, you break your leg, I'm probably gonna be liable for it. So how, I agree with you, Larry, I wanna do it, I'm sorry to be a pain in the butt,
Is it
but I'm
once-
just,
Once this is signed, do they take, I mean, I don't know what they,
Larry, we'll have to work that out. This is a sale agreement.
Right.
It does not address operating it on a temporary basis or whatever.
I guess it's not the same as just regular real estate, but I think there are some similarities that we need to,
yeah, I don't know for sure, but I don't think they start operating it right away. I think there's a period of transition into that.
So this is just a sale agreement, and then we'll work up,
As Jeff said.
we'll work up a working
It's like,
agreement.
you know, it's the same as if we were buying a building, but
Yeah.
it's certainly not a building. It's like Jeff said, you know, this really is a real estate transaction. It just has got a lot more requirements and hoops to jump through before we can close on it. You know, kind of like when we bought that gas station out by Public Works, and that was contingent on them getting a final, and you weren't here, Sam, when we did that, but getting a final clearance from DNR as far as the environmental issues. It's the same kind of thing.
okay, so let me come at it from their direction, and if I'm the one buying it, I'm gonna pay my people to come in to operate it, which means probably fixing stuff, checking meters, collections. What am I getting out of that? Am I gonna be getting revenue or anything? So, there's just, I'm fine getting this signed and let's continue with it. And maybe they'll have more answers for us at that point.
Right.
So, I don't wanna hold it up, but there's,
Yeah.
it seems like a weird transaction of sorts doing it this way.
So as of right now, signing this agreement changes nothing as far as how we're operating until a later point.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
Right.
And the lawyer and I have not even discussed who's operating when or whatever. That's all Public Works talking to the owner. So,
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
just a sale agreement.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of basically saying, look, we're dealing with them and we're not gonna try to sell it out from underneath you while this is
Right,
going on,
right.
so.
Yeah, this is just a sale agreement until we close.
I
So-
I totally agree. It's a good thing. We wanna go ahead
Yeah.
and get it out of our hands, so. Sorry to be a pain, Larry.
One less
No,
thing you have
that's
to do,
fine.
that means you
And-
can take animal control, which is,
No, we don't
that,
need
with
that.
all that spare time.
Oh, Let me get him, Larry?
I thought, well, I figured if I didn't say it, John was gonna say it.
Now that you bring it up.
I move that we sign the, Wheeler, be quiet. I move that we sign the agreement for sale of the utility system to Central States Water Resources Incorporated.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We just, okay. Approval and signing of agreement for professional engineering services, Wilmore Drive Stormwater Improvement Project.
Okay, did Eric send you all?
Mhm.
So you have that. This is for a stormwater job on Wilmore, which is off Seven Hills, to do the engineering design work for that, those inlets and stormwater. Total estimate is $7,370 to CM, or Central Missouri Professional Services.
You got the agreement there with you?
God, look at all those signatures.
You guys good with this?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a concrete street off Seven Hills, which is in bad shape. We're gonna do these inlets and pipe, and then we are gonna do street repairs on it too later this summer, which we'll be putting out a bid for that too.
That one's been there for a long time, so
Yeah.
I'm glad we're finally getting to that one.
So are the people out there.
It throws people, yeah, because you got, that side of the road is out of the city, so you got fireworks stands every year.
Yeah.
People don't understand that.
Well, but didn't there's the city, don't you, county, and then you drive
City
down that
has-
road, and then you have city down there?
No, Wilmore, that whole subdivision's ours, but Seven Hills is the city's.
Yeah. Unique.
I thought there was a house there that was in the city or something.
That first one may be technically in the city, but that's our street.
Well, I think that's how they're contiguous, is because none of Seven Hills is ours.
No.
So if one of those houses wasn't in city limits, then we probably would have half of Seven Hills, so. Yeah, I think you do drive through the city through the first one.
Yeah. I move that we sign the professional engineering services agreement with Central Missouri Professional Services for the Wilmore Drive Stormwater Improvement Project.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Signing of the Morris Packaging Railroad Spur Agreement.
Okay. We signed an agreement with Morris a few years back. How many years ago was that, Larry? Probably 3 years ago.
3 or 4, yeah.
And so, in order for Public Works to proceed with extending the rail spur, we have to sign an agreement with Union Pacific. Well, Union Pacific's agreement is a one-size-fits-all for manufacturers, and there's some provisions in there that don't apply to us, such as accepting liability for cargo in one of UP's cars. If it gets hit by lightning, Cole County's liable. Well, that's ridiculous. It's not our car, it's not our stuff. So I found that provision and a couple more that had to do with flagging on the track that Eric Landwehr and I both went through this agreement. And these were other untenable provisions. So I called Hal, actually emailed Hal Gibbs, and sent that to him and told him what we objected to before we would agree with UP. And he agreed with me, and so he said, let me work with Morris. So they came up with an indemnification agreement that if something would happen, they would indemnify us on these provisions. So, and Mr. Morris has already signed this. So, if Sam would sign it and then put the date up here, because it's the date it's executed since we both signed it. Any questions?
No, thank you for doing this, because we couldn't make UP understand.
Well, they're just extremely rigid.
Uh,
They complain about government being bureaucratic, but they're worse.
They wanted us to cover act of God, so if a tornado came through and wiped out these cars on the spur, we're supposed to pay for it. We're supposed to pay for the goods in the cars. I'm like, and I think Nod said they couldn't write policy like that. So-
Well, and Debbie was able to finally get through to them on, they wanted insurance, it's what, twice what we carried, Debbie?
4 million.
And so they finally gave us a waiver on that. They've been a pain in the neck to deal with as far as being unreasonable and rigid. And Larry Benz said we never had to sign anything with them in the previous extensions,
Oh,
so. Okay, this is agreement. We won't be signing the UP agreement until this one's signed. So I think Eric is gonna have that on the agenda next week.
So just on another note, I had a meeting yesterday and some UP guys were there, and one thing that we need to probably look at is since this is kind of an anomaly that we own this track and it's in the city, he said that some places would do like a homeowners association for these businesses, so that these businesses would actually pay to own this track. So, I think we need to get out from under it. They need to own it. There needs to be some type of agreement there at some point set forth that we don't really want any part of it. Here's this association it's almost like a business park. And so, maybe just something for us to think about and look at.
So would we sign over the tracks to the association?
That would be how it would be.
Let's start doing that with some roads too.
Something like that.
Okay.
So,
I,
anyway, so.
I don't know, I just kinda find that hard to believe. I think we're stuck with it. We can charge them for use of it possibly, but, otherwise what stops us from signing over roads to home associations?
You do have a statutory authority to convey county property.
We were gonna do that with Eugene at one point, if they.
Well, it wouldn't
form
hurt,
an
it wouldn't hurt to look at.
Yeah, I'm not saying
Because the
that's-
thing is, we take care of the maintenance on them then too, right? So, I don't know how often we have to repair the tracks.
What if,
When they do their inspection and they
Yeah,
send us a letter saying we gotta fix this or gotta fix that.
Yeah, or they'll quit servicing
Yeah.
it.
So
I don't know, what if they refuse to take it? What if, the home association says we don't want it?
Shut it down.
but I just.
Well, there's gotta be something done. Obviously, if we pay for it up front, we can't just keep paying for it forever. What are we getting out of it?
Yeah, that's like when Eric made the presentation to the Chamber of Communities, and he showed the railroad track, and he said, guess who owns this? And everybody's like, and he goes, the county does. And, so,
You got the business that is bringing economic development in on that little spur. What do you get out of the roads? You get to fix those, push snow, patch, repair. You're always taking care of them too. I think we talked about that one time up here. It's like, why do we even have to take it over? Kinda stuck with it.
right now, they're ours, but
If-
it still doesn't.
if we can
hurt.
do something,
It still wouldn't hurt to look and see if there would be somewhere, way that they would take responsibility
Right.
for it.
Or a user fee or something. Obviously, they're benefiting by, being proactive and railing stuff in versus.
You
And
can
they're
tell I
like-
got two different
and
boots
they're
on
probably
today. I'm
gonna-
playing both sides.
They're
They're
gonna
gonna
come back
to
and
us.
say it's economic development.
They're gonna come back and say, why am I paying commercial taxes on it if, I'm paying a lot more than a residential, why don't you charge them to use a road? So essentially, we are. I don't know.
Of course, that's public, a road public versus this spur is just those businesses,
I get me
You
with
don't go
some-
nowhere with those
I get me with
businesses.
some
We own
hand
it.
carts and I go
But
out
if
and
somebody
play
wants to
on
go
ours.
beyond that, we get to say in that, correct?
Yeah, we can say no.
So if they wanna go on, if there's another company beyond, and Morris just happens to be the one we're talking about here, but if somebody wants to go beyond it, which I think was part of the meeting yesterday,
Mhm.
we're the ones that can essentially say, no, we're not gonna bid
Right.
it, right? Morris doesn't really have a say in it.
No.
Since they don't own it,
No, no,
so,
When we started, it wasn't.
but they could have a say in it if they were the home association.
yeah.
Yeah, I just look at it from, I mean, obviously, there's more room in that business park for more business to go in. The longer the track gets, the more expense we have, maintenance long-term.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, I just think we have to look at those.
Jeff, those are not our roads anymore either.
What are?
Those are all city roads.
It's been annexed into the city.
Only thing we have there is the tracks.
No, that's theirs, and if they annex it, they get the tracks too.
Well, we tried that. We
Why
tried
not?
that.
It's their roads now.
Why is it not their tracks too if they've got it all annexed?
The only
Yeah,
thing
the
they have on
property.
the tracks.
Wait a minute, now we're gonna have an
Only
argument.
thing they have on the tracks.
We
is
already
crossing.
talked about this.
Yeah, we've talked.
That's part of our economic development.
Where were you at that day?
I probably had the same boots on, I wasn't sidetracking. Got me jacked up here.
Yeah, they own the crossing, right, Larry? On
City
Militia
does.
Drive? Yeah, the city does, yeah. They
But
own
they've
the-
annexed everything around.
We have the spur and
So
they
you
have
have
the
another
crossing.
pair in your truck.
They own the crossing because they own the road, right?
Yeah, well, actually, they had the crossing before that, I think. Yeah, they have all the roads now.
Okay, I'm trying to remember the conversation. All right, let's just go ahead and move on to the next thing.
I move that we
I gotta get
sign
home and get
the
different boots.
indemnification agreement with Morris Packaging.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Signing of the Salute to America agreement.
This is in the budget for this year. It's $5,000. It's just an agreement to be able to pay them.
You guys good with that?
I am, yes.
That's the 5.
5,000.
Okay, yeah.
Move that we sign the agreement for Salute to America.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have any other business to come before us?
No, I do want to turn in this, it's the RAC's annual report that they have to do, Jeff City Rape and Abuse Crisis Center. It's their annual report, just to be filed with the county clerk. And that's it.
I don't think I have anything else.
Did we get an agreement, or have we talked any further with, Lewis, Allen and Reed or whatever? We
I
do
don't
have
have
an
anything.
invoice out there to pay.
I don't have anything.
Okay.
I
So
need to talk to Chris.
there's an invoice out there to pay. We're holding it back at the moment because we don't have a current contract with them.
So I can reject it, and I'll just reject it waiting on contract, if that's okay with you guys.
You
Otherwise,
all
it
should
just,
probably remind Chris. I mean, he never did get the not to exceed for, the San Souci contract, and that, what we told him 5 times, it hasn't happened. And he needs, because he's their client. I'm not involved in the litigation, I just, well, you know, they'll fill me in, they don't even have to do that. So, what you need to do is tell Estes that he needs to have an agreement, just like if it were a copy machine or anything else.
That's it.
Okay. I do want to thank the Missouri Baptist Convention. Last week, well, we're redoing the Carnegie Building, so we're gonna move everybody down to the sheriff's lot, and then you had something going on, so it was, and so I called over there and talked to Joe, and he said, no, he said, I'll give you 25 places on the east side, and he said, there's no charge, that's what neighbors are for. So I just appreciate the fact that they are good neighbors and they gave us those
I apologize
places.
for using that, but I didn't know the dates. that you were gonna be
Okay.
needing that, so.
No,
We
no,
already
that's,
said that, we already had that training set.
we got it worked out, so but I just wanted to publicly thank the Missouri Baptist Convention, because I thought that was very nice of them, and very neighborly. Anything else?
I had a couple things, but I'm trying to get to them here.
Tomorrow's a perfect date. Not too hot, not too cold, just need a small jacket.
Could be hot in here, though.
Go outside. You gotta watch Miss Congeniality.
The part should be coming in today, the air conditioner.
Every year he forgets what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get you that. Do you have,
The-
is it gonna have to be VHS if I bring the movie in, Jack? I'm just gonna,
I've seen Miss Congeniality.
when she's asked, describe her perfect date. April 25th, not too hot, not too cold, just need a light jacket. That is a
Jeff,
good
go home and
quote.
change your shoes.
I'm wearing them like this. It's a new style.
I guess I just go to bed.
So,
Can you put in the paper, Jeff, that Jeff Helsher today wore one brown boot? and
Oh,
one
it's
black
on
boot?
record, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Lewis,
It's-
Jeff
Reed,
put
and
it on
Allen.
Facebook.
R-E-E-D,
Close.
A-L-L-E-N.
did we figure everything out for that administrative professionals day, or you doing something on that?
Yeah, I think so. I need to talk with Steve again, but we've got the barbecue pit.
So is that tomorrow? Because the last email I got said
Yeah.
something about tomorrow.
Yes.
So when we're splitting the cost, we're splitting the cost for the county employees, right?
Well, yeah, but Donnell, I think, is,
No, those are state employees.
oh, whatever. Well,
Okay, does everybody know, is everybody aware of that?
they sent out a flyer.
You guys, no, okay.
Yes, the clerk's office did a flyer for it. We could make you an honorary county employee tomorrow, Jeff. No inmates, so.
So, this, support letter for Dr. Ludi, where are we at on that?
It's a surprise.
Oh, is it?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I guess we probably need to ask who's actually putting that all together. I don't remember where the initial email came from. Was that Cap Region?
No, Jerry.
From Jerry?
Yeah, so-
All right, just tell Jerry if you need something from us, let us know.
Who said that? Karen?
Guess Christie left.
Mhm.
We're trying to organize everything out at the new health building, as far as getting people in there, but, the kicker kinda is, it was a 60 days, work time period on the flooring. That's 60 working days, so that's like 3 months. And so,
Oh,
so obviously, I'm trying to get Greg to get some of the HVAC and some of the lighting possibly done on one side, maybe even some of the painting, so we could start flooring as soon as possible, just to try to expedite that, because a lot of those other trades aren't gonna take that long, but, and then we'll be waiting on the painting bids, I guess, and see where that comes in, but, I mean, so I think, we were looking at possession June 1st.
June 1st.
But, I mean, if we're taking 60 working days, you know, that's 3 months. I think June 1st was a Friday, maybe. And Greg was gonna start scheduling work on the 4th.
All right, yeah, he's got stuff scheduled.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
The painting bids are due in this Thursday.
okay.
What are they doing in between my facility and Jim Wish's? Or I seen a truck and they were moving stuff. Are they gonna concrete that? Is that what they're?
Yes. That is gonna be concreted all the way, from Wish's building over to that retaining wall there.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get in your lot now.
No, they're still working on the front of High Street, I still can't get up. But I just didn't, I knew that we were talking about doing something, I didn't know for sure what you were doing.
It was a surprise, John, for you.
I don't care.
Sorry about that.
Got a great deal on it.
We had talked about a lap, we had talked about putting a lap pool in, you know, for exercise, but.
Just paint it green, so that way it looks like grass.
Okay, I don't know, I guess that's it, so. Sure, I'll think about it later.
Okay.
When are those Wren's Lake proposals due?
It's
Ma-
Thursday also.
May 1st?
May 1st, I
May
was
1st,
thinking.
I think,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, May 1st bid openings.
I saw Jennifer still here.
Oh, she won't make it.
When she was here today, baby's gonna be ready to go to college.
Don't tell her that now.
Are we gonna have a discussion on the rail that we own out there at some point, just to kind of look at all those expenses? I sent something on that. I know Eric's out of town, but obviously we've got this agreement signed, but I just think that we need to look at that a little bit further in insurance and maintenance
much maintenance we've
expenses.
done.
Yeah. I mean, just try to capture all of our expenses, you know, even staff time that maybe have to meet with UP. Anything that would deal with that railroad at all.
And basically, how would you divide that out? By square footage of length of track? Or how would we, right now it's about 60/40, but that doesn't mean there's much logic to that. So somehow, some logic to how I would divide out that insurance and/or maintenance.
Okay. Ready to go into closed session again?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, always.
All right. May we go into closed session pursuant to section 610.021 of the revised statutes of Missouri for personnel issues, sub 3, and existing or proposed security systems, sub 19.
Second,
Roll call?
Sam?
Yes.
Jeff?
yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Hey, Larry.